They'll get Travis Lulay in, and he's going to go to work. Looking deep. He's got Paris Johnson. Touchdown. Travis Lulay gets his first touchdown throw of his CFL career.
Right there, Travis Lulay. Proud to wear the orange for 10 years, making us all proud on the field, off the field. The Lions put together this tribute video that was tweeted out yesterday. When you saw this, what was the feeling? What was the thought in your head, Travis?
Yeah, that was kind of the first time it hit me. And, you know, I was going to sleep the night before, and I knew that yesterday was going to be a lot of stuff, and I'd be getting some people, because a lot of people wouldn't have been hearing it until then for the first time, other than, like, my family, right? And so, yeah, I rolled over, and I got a notification or something and saw that video, and I did not know they were doing that, and, yeah, had me misty-eyed early on, which was actually good, because I got most of that out of the way before I got to the press conference. I held it together and was able to speak. But no, it was a really touching kind of farewell tribute yesterday by the Lions. I was flattered.
Well, it's a big decision to move on to the next stage in your life. And if you have not read it, 3downnation.com, it was very Players Tribune-esque of how you described your life, your journey as a BC Lion, and what went into this decision. And this was not an overnight decision by any means.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, that's kind of the reason for the timing of this now, and just letting it be known. I wanted to wait. I was kind of leaning this way at the end of the season, and obviously you guys know my injury history. I'd been banged up and came back from a big knee injury in 2017. So last year made it back, but it was a struggle all year long, just being on the field to be healthy. I loved it. Don't get me wrong. I don't regret it one bit, but you know, you think about things a little bit differently. And at the end of the year, I was reflecting on it. I wanted to wait through free agency just to have that clarity of mind and know this is really what I wanted to do. And when it came down to it, there wasn't a playing scenario that outweighed me wanting to protect my health as best I can, and not playing football certainly does that going forward. So,
well, married with 3 kids right now, and we had Mike Riley on this show recently when he signed on as the new QB for the BC Lions, and we talked about what this means for you in the future. And reading the 3 Down Nation article, Mike Riley, in the delivery room when your first child was born, it really hits home the relationship you two had. Here's what he had to say when we talked about the future for the BC Lions.
He's meant a lot to this city and this franchise, and he's passionate about it, and he wants the best thing for them. And we've kept in constant communication over the last couple of months, and pretty much daily over the last couple of weeks. And
hold on, is that handlebar stash coming back, by the way?
Oh, man.
Just to clarify.
Oh.
Yeah, he blamed that stash on you. He said that was your idea altogether.
No, don't put that on me, Mike. That was all him.
But the bond you have with Mike Riley, I mean, that is pretty special over the years. What do you say about that, and knowing that he's got the keys to the team now?
Hey, look, Mike's one of my closest friends, and I tried to articulate that in that piece you mentioned, that the biggest thing I'll miss is just the relationships I made with him. You know, there's a lot of stuff that happens in the public eye, and you see us playing and then battling against each other for a few years, but, you know, we've gone through a lot of stuff off the field, too. You know, there was a time in Mike's life where he was crashing with us. He lived with us for a time, and, you know, he was there when my first child was born. I was there. I stood as a groomsman on his wedding day in Hawaii a few years ago. So, I mean, those types of things obviously build a bond. When you go through tough times together on and off the field, that builds a bond. He saw me kind of rise up as a pro. I was halfway his sports psych therapist his first year in Edmonton when they only won 4 games, right? And so, you know, going through those tough times, you know, really entrenches that bond. And so now it's a bit reassuring for me at the end to know that the Lions are in really good hands. I would be much more conflicted, because I'd be walking away and the Lions, you know, could be empty-handed at quarterback with Jonathan Jennings leaving and just young guys. But as is, they're in more than capable hands, so it'll be fun to keep tabs on Mike back in the orange and black, making it happen.
Well, he's a great ambassador, as you've been, and I hope there's coaching in your future, because I don't know if you remember this, but we're going to go back into the archives like 7 years when we went to training camp up in Kamloops, and Travis was teaching myself and Greg Harper the ins and outs of football. They never let me play. I was like water boy or stats guy.
That's
you remember
amazing.
This?
Absolutely, I remember this.
You made us go long. I don't think the pass ever came, but we were ready to catch it.
Were you ready? I think I was protecting everybody's pride right there by not throwing it.
We waited a good half hour for that throw, but Trav, he was taking care of that shoulder.
That's pretty good.
What is next? Do you want to coach? What do you think?
Yeah, I haven't discounted it. You know, it's kind of time for me. First thing I want to do is decompress and survey the landscape and see what I do want to get into. I don't feel in any rush to dive into anything. You know, most of the team's coaching staffs are set right now anyhow. I've done some broadcast work. I've done some media work. That does interest me, being around the game. And, you know, I have interests outside of football as well. So the world is my oyster, as they say. I'm going to sit back with the family, enjoy that for a little bit, and then make a decision, go from there.
Well, we salute you. Big round of applause, Travis Lulay. You did us proud, man, for a decade. Can't wait to see.
Thanks, guys. Thanks so much.
What happens. You can coach us anytime, by the way.
Deal.
We're still going to work on our football game. Final look at weather coming your way.